what I love is there's a man and then the boy, and I think in the middle is a father. That a father's really, really needed, and a father is the mediator between manhood and boyhood. That a father is there to help understand both sides of that coin. That if you have a child, you have a son, that you have to maintain that young boy's innocence and help them to learn to play and learn to have a great experience, but in the process adding responsibility to those privileges so that they match up and so that they develop into a man, but also a man who can handle responsibility and understands how to enjoy his privileges. And that's why Peter at the end is the only one that can really save Jack on the inside and out, because if Jack were to go with the Lost Boys, he would just become lost. He was already starting to become lost. He was losing memory of why he was in Neverland and what he was all there for. And the Lost Boys would have saved Jack's innocence, but they would not have saved Jack from that same nemesis of time. Whereas Hook starts to take Jack as a means of getting back at Peter Pan. So he starts to take Jack in, starts to treat him like a son. And he mimics the father in many ways to show love and affection, but he's actually only saving Jack in the outside. He's helping Jack to become a conqueror, but he's not helping save Jack's innocence in the process. And so Peter's really the only one. I think fatherhood is a really interesting one in this story, because that's what's missing. Peter Pan in the whole from the cartoon, there was no father, and without a father, you become a pirate. Fathers have such a distinct role in helping especially their sons, in order to become real men. Fathers have that charge to make sure they raise their son to learn how to enjoy life, to accomplish, and this goes for daughters too, but I'm just using the symbolism here, to accomplish things, to grow, to transform, to become, but also to remember the responsibilities that are associated with that, and to not lose sight of what really matters, right? Which is really where Wendy, like the mothers, also tie us always this line of purpose. Peter's the only one that can save both, and he has to first go through this process of remembering who he was. In the movie Hook, he doesn't go back to being Peter Pan, the lost boy. He actually returns as Peter Pan, but having had both that childlike, that innocence, but he also understands what it's like to be just a straight arrow in your work and then lose sight of what matters most. And so Peter in this process is able to bring that purpose in, learn his adulthood, bring his experiences, and also tap into his childlike self, where he becomes the example of who Jack needs to be. And that he goes back to save Jack and his sister Maggie as a father. And at the end, he's fighting just like a pirate, with the innocence of a lost boy. And the goal is not to just conquer, it's actually to save. And I think fathers have that real distinct sacred role to do that.